investigation. A family friend says Linda McCartney died at her ranch near Tucson. Reports say a University of Arizona cancer specialist signed the death certificate. They also say a local medical examiner authorized her cremation at this Tucson funeral home. Paul McCartney reportedly allowed what he called a tiny untruth to flourish about where Linda died so he could buy some private time to grieve. Paul apparently told a friend, "It doesn't really matter what they say. The only thing I want is to get her back, and I can't have that." Another family friend answered the question of whether Linda took her own life.
It would shock me more than anybody to find out that she had assisted suicide. That's just not their way to do things.
And publicist Jeff Baker dismissed the suicide question as, quote, rubbish.
James Earl Ray died today, taking with him the truth or the lies about the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. Ray confessed to killing the civil rights leader, then recanted 3 days later. He was serving a 99-year prison sentence. Ray was 70 and suffering from liver cancer. He spent the last years of his life trying to win a trial in the case. On April 4th, 1968, Dr. King was shot and killed by a sniper as he stood on the balcony of a Memphis motel. Ray, a fugitive from a Missouri prison where he was serving time for robbery, was staying in a motel nearby. He was captured 2 months later in England. In March 1969, Ray pleaded guilty to killing King. By doing so, he avoided a trial and a possible death penalty. The King family recently joined Ray's fight for a retrial. Today, King's son renewed the call.
There has been a major conspiracy, and a lot of people are trying to keep the truth from occurring. And the only thing we can do is to continue to push for the truth.
Other civil rights leaders believe Ray was involved but did not act alone. Ray's brother says his body will be cremated, his ashes flown to Ireland.
Tonight, the murder mystery deepens in Newcastle County, Delaware. Police don't know if they're searching for a murder suspect or a murder victim. Deborah Puglisi is missing, and her husband is dead. Let's go live to News 10's Doug Schimel with the very latest. What can you tell us, Doug?
Well, police here are indicating that forensic accountants have been going over a lot of data taken from the Puglisi home computer, desperately trying to figure out why somebody with a gun showed up at the house on Monday. Detectives have been back to redust the front door for fingerprints, perhaps to identify the man allegedly seen by witnesses backing a car up to the Puglisi's front door on Monday, around the time of the murder. And for the second time, the woods near the house were searched to make certain nothing was missed. The shooting death of Anthony Puglisi and the disappearance of his wife Debbie is now even on the internet, as Newcastle County Police look there as well for clues. Police say they are still optimistic about Debbie Puglisi, seen here on the job as a hospice worker for the critically ill.
We'd like to have her back in good health. We feel that she can provide some information about what happened and where things are going.
So obviously you're working under the assumption she's still alive.
We're certainly hopeful for that fact.
Now, viewing has been set for Anthony Puglisi this Sunday. His funeral follows on Monday, and at both will be Debbie Puglisi, represented in the form of her picture, some flowers, some of her favorite jewelry, and an empty chair. Live in Newcastle County, I'm Doug Schimel, News 10.
Accused killer Arthur Bomar maintains he did not murder college athlete Amy Willard. Bomar took the stand at his pretrial hearing today. He disagreed with yesterday's testimony from his former brother-in-law, David O'Donnell, that he confessed in jail to killing the 22-year-old student in 1996. Bomar testified he would never have discussed Amy Willard with O'Donnell because he knew he had been placed in the same jail to snitch on him. Bomar said, quote, "It was obvious why he was there. I mean, come on, it's not a coincidence. Any fool knew why he was there." Later, under cross-examination, Bomar was asked, "Did you make any of the statements attributed to you yesterday?" Bomar answered, "No." The judge will now decide on a defense motion to keep Bomar's alleged statements from jail out of his murder trial. Well, tonight, a store shooting in Philadelphia has claimed the life of a local woman. She was shot and killed over just a few dollars. News 10's Tracy Davidson is live on the scene in North Philadelphia. Tracy.
Larry, we're told Nita Kirby was a kind lady. She was known as the candy lady in this neighborhood because she would give candy to kids even if they didn't have enough money to buy it. She worked as a clerk here at this corner store. Well, this afternoon, two men armed with a gun walked into the store, cleared the kids out, and then demanded money, and she gave it to them out of the cash register, but they shot her anyway. A few hours later, police were down the street at a home in the 1700 block of North Taney. Witnesses had pointed them in the direction of a suspect who they believed was in the store at the time. They made that arrest this afternoon. Currently, police are still holding that scene at this hour, looking for a possible murder weapon. And more arrests could come later tonight. Live in North Philadelphia, Tracy Davidson, News 10.
And a touching service tonight in South Jersey. Relatives remembered victims of crime. News 10 at Sacred Heart Church in Camden. For a somber ritual tonight, family members formed a long line around the pews. They each lit a candle and recited the name of their lost loved one.
Stefan Cook, my son.
Organizers planned this event to recognize Victims' Rights Week in the state of New Jersey. The problem of vacant buildings was the hot topic tonight at a Philadelphia town hall meeting. News 10 was at the Chestnut Hill Church of God. Some residents complained city inspectors are slow to respond to the abandoned buildings issue. Officials said they would make an extra effort to speed up response time to those concerned.
To her clients in Bucks County, she was allegedly known as Madam Suzanne. To police, she is 43-year-old Micheline Nelson. Today, she was in district court facing prostitution and obscene performance charges. In February, police raided her Levittown home. They found whips, chains, bondage videos, and torture devices. Nelson is free tonight pending trial and can stay in her home, but neighbors are trying to get her evicted. Tonight, a pair of pricey automobiles, once owned by macabre murderer Gary Heidnik, are going on the auction block. Up for bids next week, Heidnick's 1971 Rolls-Royce with British right-hand steering and his 1987 Cadillac DeVille with only 2,100 miles on the odometer. Associated Auctioneers in Hunting Park will handle the sale. All profits will go to a local center for battered women. Gary Heidnik, you remember, made headlines in 1987 by turning his North Philadelphia home into a house of horrors. A jury convicted him of the torture murders of 2 women and feeding human remains to 3 other women. Heidnik is on death row in Pittsburgh. His latest appeal is pending before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Tonight, a father is charged with an unthinkable crime. Police say he injected his son with HIV-tainted blood. Brian Stewart of Missouri is charged tonight with first-degree assault. Now, police believe he stole the blood from a hospital in which he worked and then infected his son when that little boy was just 11 months old. That boy is now 7. Police say Stewart wanted his son to die so he could avoid paying child support. Well, tonight, the father jailed for kidnapping his daughter 18 years ago is out of jail and speaking out. Stephen Fagan posted a $250,000 bail to leave the Massachusetts jail. Fagan is accused of kidnapping his 2 girls when they were small, telling them that their mother was dead.
The children have acted with integrity and character, and I think in the future, as this evolves, you will all see that there's much more to it than meets the eye.
How was it to be back with your dad?
It was great. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Fagan's attorneys say the girls support their father and do not want to meet their mother.
The White House calls the outburst bizarre, and tonight President Clinton is ignoring the fact he was called a name by a Republican congressman. Representative Dan Burton called the president, quote, a scumbag. Burton admits he could have been more diplomatic, but he says he was trying to make a point that he doesn't think the president is a man of integrity. Burton made the remark last week to a newspaper. Well, at least one woman won't comment about Bill Clinton in a courtroom.
Come on, come on. You won't be talking at all?
No.
That's Susan McDougal arriving at the Little Rock, Arkansas federal court in shackles today. As you heard, she still has nothing to say to the Whitewater grand jury. She faces a criminal contempt charge for her silence today. McDougal has already spent 18 months in jail for refusing to answer questions.
Well, a salute tonight to former Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Neal. News 10 tonight at the Sheet Metal Workers Hall at Penn's Landing. NAAC President Jerry Mondesire of the local chapter was just one of many officials and friends who paid tribute to Richard Neal. He resigned as top cop back in March. Richard Neal now heads up security at Drexel University.
More honors tonight for one of the Philadelphia region's leading heart specialists. A tribute tonight for Dr. Peter Cowie, Chief of Cardiology at Lankenau Hospital Center. News 10 at the Park Hyatt at the Bellevue for tonight's testimonial dinner. The American Heart Association honored Dr. Cowie for his life-saving work and years of service. Congratulations, Doctor.
Yeah, it was nice seeing Sherry Bank there. Still ahead on News 10 tonight. You may see radical changes in your favorite women's magazine. Details coming up in the News 10 Health Watch.
Guests on the Jerry Springer Show say the whole thing is an act. Tonight, Springer responds.
Plus, a News 10 special report tonight. Have you ever had a fling at work? Coming up in just a couple of minutes now, why so many people say work is where the real action is.
I'm John Baleris. Will the skies clear out in time for your weekend? Find out as News 10 continues.
You're watching News 10 at 11. You're watching News 10 at 11.
You know it's spring. News 10 at the season reopening of Rock Lobster. It was held inside, though, because of tonight's rain. Well, the question is, will it clear up for the weekend? Details in the exclusive Earthwatch forecast just ahead. But first, a U.S. immigration judge has ordered a retired Delaware County man deported for Nazi war crimes. The government says 82-year-old Jonas Stelmokas led a Lithuanian police unit during World War II. Officials claim his unit killed thousands of Jews who fought the Nazis. Stelmokas settled in Lansdowne and became an architect. His lawyer will appeal the decision to send him back to Lithuania.
On the News 10 Health Watch at 11, a call for drastic changes in some magazines for the sake of women's health. An anti-smoking group wants the publishers of women's magazines to turn down tobacco advertising. The group says women often turn to these publications for health news, and it's hurting women to have tobacco ads staring them in the face. New studies show lung cancer kills more women than breast cancer every year. Also on the Health Watch, a warning to the millions of jocks who take the sports supplement creatine. Health officials are urging everyone to see a doctor before using it. They say little is known about creatine's long-term safety. There's an investigation underway into whether creatine played a role in the deaths of 3 college wrestlers.
Talk show host Jerry Springer is defending accusations that his show is a fraud and that the fights are staged. The program, which airs here on NBC 10, is known for its wild topics and fighting guests. Some former guests told Extra's Diane Diamond their appearances were basically bogus. Here's what they say.
How many of you actually rehearsed, choreographed your show before you went on? Wow. You went on national television and you lied.
It's a soap opera.
Yeah, it's acting. People do it every day.
Publicity.
Several in the group said producers furnished skimpy outfits and fake engagement rings to spice things up. Some said they even encouraged fisticuffs.
They told you to go up and hit somebody.
Yes, they did.
Just to make the show better.
Yep. Today in New York, Jerry Springer had this response.
I don't want it to be fake. If someone's faking it, I don't want them on the show. I mean, that's pretty clear. You know, so I'm not upset with the headline at all. I just want to make sure it's true. If it's true that someone's faking it on our show, I don't want that.
1, 2.
For the record now, no one in the Extra interview said that they had any evidence that Springer knew about the coaching.
Tomorrow on News 10 at 11, I take an in-depth look at conspiracy theories, be it the timeless riddles of JFK and Martin Luther King assassinations, or a theory that the government is actually hiding alien beings from another world. It's the stuff movies are made of, and the stuff people everywhere love talking about on both radio and television.
Well, I think there's conspiracy in a lot of our minds in what goes on in our day-to-day lives. I mean, a conspiracy around the water cooler, a conspiracy.
From the water cooler conspiracies to the national conspiracies, you'll see my special report, Conspiracy Theories, tomorrow on News 10 at 11, right after Homicide.
But now tonight's special report, Romance in the Office. Single bars are out, your workplace is in, that is, as the place to hook up. As News 10's Luann Kahn reports, office flings are happening more and more.
Some say it's the sexual sandbox of the 90s, your workplace.
It made things really difficult because we couldn't let the boss know, so we had to act like nothing was wrong.
He was my boss, and just...
That was a nightmare.
At this Cherry Hill advertising agency, the work sizzles, and so do the romances. Is he single? Is he cute? Then he's considered fair game if he comes to work here.
Hi, Greg. It's Terry. Call me back. Bye-bye.
There's Linda and Jan, Kathy and Brian, and Terry and Dave just announced their working romance. Well, actually, a waitress spilled the news.
The waitress came up and said, "Where's your boyfriend, Dave?" And I went, and everyone around me from work went, "Dave?" I said, "Fine, I'm dating Dave."
We spend a lot of time here, Luann. Lots and lots of time. And so you have no other choice but to inbreed. One psychology professor in Montana claims 80% of working Americans have had some kind of workplace romance.
Okay, you can count me among the guilty. I married my favorite photographer. Oh, you thought you were my favorite photographer? I'm sorry. You're not. But we all know newsrooms have a reputation for being rampant with romance. Hey, who got the flowers?
And it's no accident Hollywood uses places like emergency rooms as backdrops for encounters of the passionate kind.
Most people in a moment of attraction aren't thinking, what are the ramifications down the road if this doesn't work? That's when the lawyers get involved.
It's become clear a sexual harassment charge can plague any office, even the Oval Office. A major reason some companies try to discourage employees in love because
What is consensual today can become non-consensual later.
A good thing can turn sour very quickly and make for bad business.
still only 13% of all companies recently surveyed have written policies on work relationships. First Union Bank, for example, won't hire married couples. And if two employees do get married, one has to be transferred to another department. Despite the dangers, most companies like the ad agency we visited aren't ready to start regulating relationships. After all, the company's founders are married. Terry and Dave are planning to marry too. And this coworker says it would never work for her.
I'm married to my job.
And that's a work relationship she says she can bank on. Luann Kahn, News 10.
We're all just friends here,
That's
right?
No time for romance in our newsroom.
Right.
It's work, work,
That's
work.
right. Weather, weather, weather.
Weather. Let's get right to your weekend forecast as it's looking pretty good. Let's check out one of our WeatherNet sites right now and see what's happening right outside our beautiful studios. 56 was the high, 50 was the low. It's 52 degrees right now, the official high at the airport today. Kind of a cool, cloudy, and a little bit wet 56. The normal high should be 65. The record high 91. The record low 33. The rain is dwindling. Temperatures now in the 50s to the upper 40s. Doppler radar picking up the rain early this afternoon, well, 3 o'clock anyway. And watch the rain shrinkage over the past 6 to 9 hours, just kind of dwindling away, moving away out to sea. Just a few leftover showers down towards Delaware and up towards Trenton. And that will be the story for tonight. A few leftover showers and skies clearing out in time for your Friday. Exclusive Earthwatch fly. We fly up a little bit. We're looking for that bad guy. The low pressure system that gave us the rain today continues to pull slowly away. In its wake, enter high pressure. High pressure from the Ohio Valley will build in nicely on a west wind. That means clearing out the skies and return to sunshine tomorrow afternoon. The storm pulls away, early morning clouds. Sun returns, a nice dry west wind. Temperatures getting close to 70. More sunshine as you move into Saturday because high pressure will begin to build down. Front will go through Saturday morning with just a few clouds. Readings on Saturday between 65 and 70. And then a change for the second half of the weekend. Wave of low pressure beginning to move in. The green indicating showers. Showers developing during the day on Sunday and perhaps ending by early next week. So the weekend, 50-50. Forecast for tonight. Few leftover showers, readings in the 40s. Tomorrow, morning clouds and lots of sunshine, 65 to 70. 5-day forecast. First half of the weekend, real nice. Breezy sunshine for Saturday near 70. Showers developing on Sunday, 64. Monday, cloudy, 63. Tuesday, warming up 71. So the Penn relays mainly dry. Next chance of showers for that event would be on Sunday. Renee and Larry?
All right, John. Visek Hammer is up next with News 10.
That's right, Larry and Renee. Tonight, Bobby Hoying is back in the hospital. It has to do with the appendix surgery he just had. Also coming up, a special guest hanging out in the Weather Center. Is that high pressure Harry there? Oh, it's Jim McMahon. We'll tell you why he's here. Next on News 10.
First, I thought Harry was working out.
Yeah.
Now, he's just a friend of yours.
Yeah. Jim McMahon looks healthy. Unfortunately, Bobby Hoying is not. The Eagles quarterback Bobby Hoying will not join his teammates for this weekend's three-day minicamp. He was rushed to Graduate Hospital for surgery this evening because the incision from an emergency appendectomy he needed last week was infected. Hoying started the last 6 weeks of the season and has already been named the starter for the upcoming year. His surgery tonight is not expected to be a major problem, and he should be ready come training camp. To the ice now, Peter Svoboda suffered no serious nerve damage after he was kneed in the head last night. He'll miss tomorrow's game, but could be back for Game 3. With Dave Babbage also questionable, he's got a foot injury. Paul Coffey may get a chance to play.
Yeah, we thought he was out for 3 months. So now he was talking about playing tomorrow, but I don't think he'll make it till the weekend. But that was terrific news.
Frustrating sometimes when you sit out and you watch a team lose, but I think all you can do as a player is make sure you get ready, try to practice and do some bikes and weights and all that kind of stuff as much as you can, but there's no comparison to playing in the games. I mean, being game sharp, you have to play to be sharp, but, you know, of course I'd love to play.
Baseball now. Phil's closer Ricky Bottalico may miss 6 to 8 weeks. He's getting a second opinion after x-rays showed some loose bodies in his right elbow that could require some surgery. He could have the surgery next week. Hoying, Svoboda, Bottalico, boy, this isn't sports becoming more like Health Watch. Ricky is reduced to watching for a while now. Pick it up in the bottom of the 8th, tied at 3, Scott Rowland. With 2 runners on, homers off of Scott Sullivan. That would break the tie ball game. Rowland's 4th of the year. The Phils would go on to win it 6 to 3. I am back from vacation, and so is Vi's guys. Boy, you think you had a bad day at the office? How about umpire Larry Barnett? Takes one right on the head there. And then later in the same game, yeah, gets nailed again. Lightning does strike twice. Junior Miller showing why self-service and auto racing are not a good combination. Flyers fans can relate to this. Detroit's Chris Osgood allows Claude Lemieux to score from center ice. Flyers Dan McGillis thinks the Rangers' Bob Airey had a penalty, so he puts Airey in the penalty box. And the last Sixers play on Vi's guys for a while, Allen Iverson with a follow slam. Boy, he could hardly wait until next year. And an original member of Vi's guys, Jim McMahon, I don't know what he's doing over at the Weather Center. Jim, what's going on over there, bud?
Well, I'm here to play some golf, and I'm just checking on whether or not this high pressure is going to get out of here. What do you think?
Looks good for the hockey game.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, the hockey game looks good.
Sounds great to me.
Okay, Jimmy Mack in town to play golf, and we will talk to him on First at 4 tomorrow.
All right, good deal.
Yeah. Most guys just turn on the weather. You actually show up and go to the Weather Center. That's
good deal, thanks. We'll be right back.
Well, you're not Jim McMahon, but I guess you can still give us the weather.
Yes, I can. For Jim's tee-off time, 11:30. Sky should be clearing tomorrow morning at that time. Lots of sunshine in the afternoon, up to 69 degrees. Saturday, sunshine, breezy, 70. Clouds move in on Sunday with a chance of showers developing. Monday, cloudy, 63, warming up by Tuesday.
All right.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was good.
That's it for News 10 at 11. News 10 continues at 5:30 in the morning. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno is up next. I'm Larry Minty.
And I'm Renee Chenault for John and Vi and all of us here at News 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.